Just want to tell you I know how to beatbox with a little bit of yeah. Obama. Just want to tell you I know how to beatbox with a little bit of hello, this is your formal president.
Welcome everybody to this Division 3 West race here in Pirkanmaa. This is round 3 of the FR Championship. So the drivers are already out on track. We are 9 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I think we have quite a good attendance today, around 15 drivers. And the main talking point for today, I think it's Pro Bono moving to Division 3 East. So the championship leader is no longer racing in this division, so the place is open to take for anyone to, of course, take that amount of points and pass him later in the championship. So let's have a look at P2 and P3 in the championship, which is quite possibly the championship battle right now, which is between Milo and Giacomo. We are now on the out laps. But before talking about that, I'm joined in the commentary booth with Link today.
Good evening, good morning, or good evening to wherever you are in the world. And again, as we say, it's an interesting, I guess, another great day for racing at Finland for the round 3 of the Division 3 West Championship. Expecting our lap times here to be low 115s, high 114s, but you know, that's, I mean, yeah, pretty much that we know that for this track that it is fast and it has a few tricky corners, especially the final corner, or in that final complex, right, is also tricky. And definitely another corner to watch out is the chicane after the first 4 corners.
Yes, so now the first drivers are starting to get the laps in. We have the Papu in the first sector is by Young. So it looks like he's the fastest one in the first sector for now, as Giacomo has just spawned already off turn 1, so he's going to do another lap. As Milo is going slightly wide into the second sector, so I don't think he's done a good lap right now. As Edsel goes Papu in the second sector, this is very good for him. He's gonna go to the line now as Nico Vico goes P1 provisionally, as Edsel takes P2 with a 16.1, Severin takes P3. Let's look at Young now on the line between behind the variation raft, and the aviation raft going spoil, but Young takes it, so he goes provisional pole with a 15.1 already, quite a solid lap time for him. As I said, actually has gone Papu in the second and third sector, so looks like he has done a mistake in the first sector, but continued on with his lap time. And he's going to be P6 as Digicol takes P2 with a 15.3. And let's look at Liot's game is not going now around the final corner because it's first lap time. Let's see where he will end up now on the line. And he goes P9 with a 17.2. So now everyone is on their second out laps for their second tries. Because for someone it's their first one, as they probably done a mistake in the first laps. Someone is actually trying to do a second lap on the old tires, but looks like it's not working as Young as despawned. Milo is improving first and second sector, so let's see if he can challenge for that pole position on these old tires. The pole for Division 3 East was done on 2-lap old tires, so this is actually possible. I'm gonna find out as Milo goes actually slightly wide of the last corner. Is he gonna improve? Yes, he does. He goes P4 with a 15.4. So we're gonna see if he can improve his lap time and his qualifying position. As Giacomo is improving first second sector because this is his first lap for now, and he's around the final sector, goes very wide off turn 11. This is not gonna be a very good third sector for him. Now only the last two corners, the airpin and the final right hand corner onto the main straight, taken pretty cleanly, I would say. You're gonna see now on the line pretty shortly where he will end up, and he goes P9. So I think he has margin to improve, and we're gonna find out if he can do so. As Francisco is now gonna be on the line, and he goes P14 and last. So for now we have quite a few mixed grid, as Nico Bico goes purple in the second sector. So this is very interesting for him. He has done a very good race on the last round, especially in the first stint, but he quite fall back after a big mistake going to the wall in flavor. But he will go to pole. Yes, he does. 14.8. That's a very solid lap for him. As Aviation Raft goes purple in the second sector. So let's look with the Shadow Realm Racing Team reserve here. He is now the substitute for this race for Pro Bono, who of course, as I said before, has left the championship. So let's look at what he can do now. Around the final corner, very clean for him. Will he be able to challenge Nico Bico for the pole position? Yes, he does. He goes pole position. Very nice lap by him. And it's going to be provisional P1. As no one else is improving right now as Young. P3 was provisional pole position before. He's going right in the first sector. Giacomo ahead of him is on the out lap, so he's not going to count for now. Yeah, so quite a surprising first runs for now, as we have 4 minutes to go in this qualifying, so around 1 to 2 runs still for every driver. As Young goes over in the second sector, so if his first sector was good enough, I think he can challenge for pole position here, as he's gonna meet the lap, the traffic of Giacomo, who is gonna move out of the way. So fair play to him. He's gonna be around the final corner, very clean by Young. This is a very solid lap time. Will he be able to challenge Aviation Raft for pole position? Now on the line, and he improves, but not enough to take P1. But he's gonna have another try, and he's gonna actually continue on these old tires. So we're gonna see later what he can do as Sevalet and Shadow are improving. Quick look at the practice spreadsheet here. I think Shadow was the fastest of Division 3 West of the time laps. No, actually it was Young. Young was the fastest with a 14.729. So Young surely has the pace to improve as he goes green in the first sector, so he's improving for now. And another fast driver was Shadow, who is now P8. He has done a 14.745, so very close in the practice spreadsheet here. So also he has the pace to improve his position. And you're gonna see if he can do so. As Young, he was improving first sector, not his second sector. Now only the last sector goes slightly wide after turn 11. It's gonna lose some speed here onto the last complex, the airpin and the last corner, and he goes wide. So that's his lap time done. As if Aviation Raft is not improving first sector, we're gonna see if he can improve the other two sectors to improve his provisional pole lap time. And he goes wide. So, but he is gonna have another chance here, as we are 150 to go in this qualifying session. So now everyone is pretty much on an outlap except for Leo. Is improving in first sector. We now on board with him on the second sector. Pretty clean. Still keeping on the track, and with a lot of speed, I would say. That was very tight into turn 8. Into turn 9, very tricky to get right, and he does get it right, I think. And he goes green in the second set. I think this is a very solid lap by him. We're gonna see if he can improve his position, or maybe even challenge for the top here. And he goes wide after turn 11. This is gonna mess up his lap time onto the last hairpin. Very early braking, but he still goes wide, so I'm not sure what he has done there. But he is gonna go off the final corner onto the main straight. Will he be able to improve his lap time? He does, goes P4. Very solid lap also by him. As Nico Bico is not improving the first sector, he's now going around the second sector. Giacomo is improving the first sector, so that's a championship contender trying to improve his qualifying position, which is P11 for now. And Nico Bico is not improving also the second sector, but if I remember right, his third sector wasn't very good, so we're gonna see if he can improve his lap time. Only 30,000 of a second separating him with the current pole position time. He goes very wide of the final corner into the wall, so that is qualifying done. As Milo is improving second sector, Giacomo is improving both first and second sector. The checkered flag drops on the line. Shadow does a mistake, so he's qualifying over as Milo goes P4. Let's look at Giacomo on the line now. Will he be able to improve his P12 position? Yes, he does. Goes P10. So he still sits position behind his championship rival, I would say, for now, who is Milo, but of course the qualifying is another thing from the race. We're gonna see if he can improve as Suss Imposter goes P6. Very solid lap also by him, as Young is improving first sector, not the second one. Let's see if he can challenge for pole position. I think he's the only one who can do so at the moment on the track. And so go and lead the final two corners here. Left hand hairpin and the right hand final corner onto the main straight. Taking very nicely, I would say, very flat out on the last corner. We're gonna see on the line, will he be able to challenge for pole position? He does improve, but not enough. With a proper third sector, he goes 150,000 of a second from aviation ramps, but stays P3. Etzred is still improving first and second sector. He's now behind Francisco. Let's look at Etzred. Will he be able to improve his position? He does. P10 for him. So this is qualifying done. We have pole position by the reserve aviation raft. And following him in the first row, we have Nico Bico. Second row with Young and Milo. Third row with Leo and Suss Imposter. Fourth row with TG Collins Sevalent. Closing the top 10, we have Mac and Accident. So that's a nice qualifying by Mac. It's certainly improved. Then on the sixth row, we have Shadow and Giacomo. Seventh row with Fran and R4. Closing the grid is Francisco. Quick look at the starting tires. We have top 7 on mediums, Sevalent is on softs, and everyone else is on medium except for Essed, who is also on softs, and Giacomo, who is on hard. So he's gonna try an alternative strategy to recover some positions here.
Definitely seeing different strategies, as you said. Yeah, definitely a few soft runners. I think 2 soft runners. One person starting on the hard, and then the rest are just on the mediums here. So probably gonna be a 2-stop strategy today. As the lights do turn on. It's 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go. Nico gets an okay start. I think the leader got a pretty good start. They're all going single file immediately into turn 1. Who gets the better off the run on the exit? It looks like Nico just got a bit of the better run right into the chicane now. They're side by side. Who is going to come to the top in the chicane? It's going to be...
Nico Bico, massive mistake by Nico Bico. He's gonna connect out to the second part of the chicane. He's gonna be down to P5 behind his teammate Leo. So now Milo is trying to take the lead already. This is crucial for his championship run. He's gonna be 3 wide onto the main straight with Young and Aviation Raft. Looks like Young is in P1 for now, but onto the second sector. But it's crucial to stay on the track right now as Aviation Raft takes a slight corner cut, so he's gonna lose some positions for now. And Milo does take the lead of the race.
It's a horrible. I mean, Nico made back up to the positions. He went from, I think, 6th. Now he's back up to 3rd. And our pole sitter has fallen down all the way back to 4th. But he did run a bit wide in the fast, I believe, the fast bit of chicane. But right now it's EB9 who is in the lead with Nico, and he's crawling back away. And Nico is now back up to the second place. And Aviation Craft is now in third place.
Yeah, fast start by Young. That's a very good start for him. He was in, if I'm not saying, P3, so he's gone up 2 positions from his qualifying. Nico Bickel states is in P2 and the post-seater Aviation Craft is down to P3. First race for him, so already very good for him. You're gonna see on the long run how he can do. I saw someone going very wide behind. I think it was Leo. So he's now gonna be under attack of Etzled, who is on softs. Ooh, that was a slight mistake by Milo ahead. So that's gonna compromise his run onto the main straight. As Nico Bickel is a first shot for the lead. We able to see a lead change into turn 7. Wow, what a move by Nico Bickel. Is gonna take the lead of the race on Young. And Aviation Craft closing behind, but still quite far back. As Etzled loses 2 positions, so I think that was a corner cut by him. Ooh, as Young goes very wide, he's gonna, but still gonna take the lead of the race. So off the track, he is gonna pull a move as Aviation Craft, I think, also went very wide off to turn 9, and he's gonna be passed by Milo.
Yeah, Nico had the run on the straight there, but still it's EB9 who still holds out. But here we go on the front straight now. Nico looking for the slipstream, and it looks like they're side by side right now, and Nico does go fastest lap. Turn 1. And EB9 still holds, but in the third in the back, it's Raft challenging for third against Milo. But back to the front, Nico gets a good run in the chicane. Going into the hairpin now before we head onto the long back straight. They're side by side right now. Nico now going to get that slipstream. And now they're just heading back down. They're getting closer and closer to the fast chicane. Who is going to come on the top after this corner? Nico's still in the slipstream, but it looks like we'll see here. Oh, so close. But it's not enough as the front 2 start to pull away from third and fourth.
Yeah, while we were talking about the lead now, Milo and Aviation have both corner cutting the hairpin of sector 1, so they both lost 2 seconds. So that's gonna compromise his race for now, as Digicol has passed both of them. So Digicol is onto the final podium position, P3.
Back quickly to the front. Nico made a bit of a mistake and has now fallen back. But we go back to the back a bit now. There's still to see a bit of a it's kind of like a slipstream train from the back, because Exile, starting from 10th, has moved 4 positions up, and now he did start on the softs, and I'm expecting them to go the wear out pretty quickly, but his moved up 4 position is now chasing down our pole sitter. With me on the back, Shadow and I believe Mac are now challenging to get, or Mac's trying to get P8 here from Shadow. Now Shadow might going to get that slipstream from Leo. We'll have to see as they go fairly wide. Let's see if people can make up a few positions here on the back straight. The front 2 are kind of starting to, I wouldn't say disappear. Nico making the move.
Yeah, he has done the same thing as done 2 laps ago. So very good line onto turn 7. He has gone past Young again onto turn 9. They're gonna keep it clean onto the track. Very difficult to do so, especially later in the race. But making for now. As Milo has done a massive mistake after turn 9. It's gonna be passed by Aviation Craft. So now Digicol is well into P3 with a 2.4 gap behind. So it's like this is a very good first hit for now for Digicol. You're gonna find out what he can do later in the race. As Giacomo is struggling a lot, he's in P12. He's on the alternative strategy, starting on arts. He is currently P3 in the championship and trying to challenge Milo. And he now is gonna lose a ton of points, so he needs to move out quickly of this position here if he wants to keep it a close battle for the championship. As his teammate actually is doing a good job holding off Milo for now. And Young takes the lead of the race, meanwhile, off the hairpin off turn 5. But now Nico Bickel is going to have a slight slipstream onto the main straight, coming into the second sector. Let's see if he's going to pull that move once again. Ooh, very wide, he's going to corner cut. And Young is going to take the lead of the race.
Yeah, I was just looking, but it seems like we're starting to spread out here, and Exile's being challenged by Leo. Now, I'm sure now, I guess it's still pretty early in the race, but we'll have to see how long those softs. And Exile made a huge mistake, and he's going to lose maybe 2 positions in one corner, but it looks like he still hangs on. But Shadow and Exile are just challenging to try to get by him. And Leo goes a bit wide, but he keeps the momentum. Shadow gets by. We'll have to see if XL makes it here to the tricky final complex. Shadow gets a good run. He's gone. XL challenging, gets to get the slipstream. He's going to get the slipstream as well from Shadow, and he just gets past.
Yeah, mistake by Digital onto turn 1. He has connected on the inside, so he's going to lose the position on both Evian and Milo. And also, slight mistake by Nico Biko. He has lost 1 second on the last sector, but he's still going to have the slipstream of turn 5, so he's going to gain some time back on the straight now. And very close battle from the last podium position now, but they're very far from the lead of the race, so they're gonna have to do some work and collaboration here if they want to challenge for even higher than P3. Meanwhile, the battle for P7 is still on between Leo, Etzled, and also Shadow is trying to run away for now. The gap between Leo and Shadow is now 0.8 of a second. It was 1 second before the status. Leo's corner cut. This is gonna be good for Shadow. Now the gap is 1.5 seconds, so he's gonna lose the slipstream on Shadow. Digital has gone back past Aviation after Milo and puts quite a gap by 7/10. But onto the last corner here, very late braking by Milo. It actually puts the corner, so that's a very tidy move by him. As a massive mistake by Sevolet behind. She was in P10, but now she's down to P13. I think that was wide of turn 9. And she goes into the pits, so lap 7 we have the first pit of this race.
My goofy auntie stabbed my grandpa with Longhorn Steakhouse knife.
Goes on. I think we got another pitter in there. I could be wrong. I think it's just one. And that will be, I believe, the Hearts, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And we'll see if the strategy works. We'll see if any positions will be gained from that. No, we'll have to see. I guess it is the Hearts. Let's get the warm-up lap. Meanwhile, back to the front quickly. Nothing much other than Mac and his next teammates are battling with, I believe that is B8 behind, which it is, and they're still having a little scrap there for P10. But nothing really happening too much on track right now as we get more into the race. Pit stops are going to be coming here real soon.
Yeah, the pit window for the medium runners, if they want to do a one stop onto the Hearts, is around lap 9, lap 10. So we're going to expect the pits to be around that lap, as both Aviation Raft and Milo have done some mistakes on this lap, so they've lost quite some ground on Digital. As Ed said, he's into the pits, he was running on softs, so very early pit for him. And he's gonna be down to P12, maybe even P13. And let's see, nice stop. He's gonna be tidy onto his box, and he goes to Arts indeed.
I think he hit the wall there entering the pit lane, but hopefully it didn't cost him too much time. He XL just gets ahead of Francisco out of the pit lane and gets ahead of
massive mistake by Aviation Raft. He was battling for P3, but he has connected off turn 8. So he's gonna be now off the slipstream of Digital, who is being passed by Milo. So Milo is back into P3, and now Shadow has caught back to Aviation Raft. So now we have a 4-way battle for that P3 spot. As Milo and Digital are gonna be side by side onto the last airpin. Is someone gonna pull into the pits? No, they're gonna all stay out. And we are now lap 9, so the pit window for the medium runners is now open. And everyone is now, I think, stay on the target. I think no one is gonna try to pull him up, because Air4 is into the pits. He was on medium, so that's a very early stop for him. Jaco is only one who started on Arts. He's E9 after the Kasai have pitted. Not a very good race for him right now, counting his previous results. But we're gonna see if on the mediums he's gonna fall back into the top, as Aviation Raft is being passed by Shadow.
Yeah, he made a mistake. He went a bit wide there, exiting the hairpin, and that will cost him his position. And again, yeah, there's nothing happening on the track right now. XL
massive mistake by Digital. Sorry to interrupt. He has lost 3-4 position is lost around 4 seconds. Massive mistake by him. He was challenging Milo back for that P3 after he had been passed by Milo, but now he's gonna be behind Aviation Raft and attacked by Sassy Imposter. Digicol is into the pits, lap 9, he's gonna be into the wall, he's gonna be passed by Sassy Imposter on the entry of the pits. And Leo is also into the pits. And they're all gonna go to Arts. So that's another mistake by Digicol. He is now between Leo's and Sassy Imposter. I think the gap is very much balanced around 1 second of the pits now. As Milo has pulled the gap on the cast behind, as the gap between him and Shadow is now 2.5 seconds.
Pit stops. We'll start the cycle up here as the top 6 have yet to pit, as well as Mr. Franstar, who is yet to pit as well, but is starting to be passed by the pitters. Pitted a few laps before him. Now Leo does go wide. We'll see if he can come back here. Goes over a bit of a bump.
Oh, massive mistake by Aviation Raft. He's gonna lose, I think, also him, he's gonna lose 4 seconds on Shadow. He was ahead of him before turn 9, but he's gone wide.
A lot of mistakes being made out here today. Now, we do know this is a fairly tricky track, and Shadow's in the pit lane. Aviation Raft is in the pit lane. Lots of pitters in the pits here. It looks like it's the top from 5th to 2nd here are in the pits. We'll see what they go on here. Hard, maybe. We'll see. Yeah.
Everyone is on Arts. Also, very long stint by Young, the race leader. He's still out there on track. He is gonna cut the chicane as soon as I turn the spectate on him. And I think he's gonna lose the position on the track on Nico Bico, but we're gonna find out later. As the time to beat is around 19 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see what he's trying to do here. Maybe he's hoping for them to make a few mistakes here and he gets that time back. Wondering maybe if he might go the softs, but that's still a long ways away. If he's gonna do that, he might need to maybe hold out to lap 19, but we'll see if he comes in the pits. Yeah, he does. He's going to go to the hards.
As Young is into the pits now. So the race leader is going to become Giacomo unless he dives into the pits very early. And actually, he might be staying behind Young. This is going to be bad for him because he's going to have the lap traffic there. And let's look at the exit. And it's gonna be there with Young, and Young is gonna stay ahead into turn 1. So now Giacomo is gonna lose some ground and have a clean air, or is gonna have to try to pass Young to not lose some ground with the dirty air now. As Nico Bico has lost quite some time, he is now 3 seconds behind Young. Also, I think we lost a mistake by Aviation Raft. He was battling with the cars ahead, but now he's around 5 seconds behind Milo, so he's gonna try to do it all over again. As Shadows has done a massive mistake. He was ahead by Aviation Raft by a couple of seconds. Now he's also 5 seconds behind Aviation Raft. Actually 3 seconds, sorry for my bad math. As Giacomo is actually staying with Young, so this is good for him, because if Young keeps a good pace, he's gonna also keep a good pace thanks to the slipstream. As now he's virtually P10 ahead of Erzlet and very close to Shadow, so this could be good for him with the fresh medium tires towards the end of the race. Now Giacomo is actually losing some ground because of the old tires. He's now going to be attacked by Nico Bico, so this is crucial for Nico Bico to go past Giacomo as soon as possible to not lose too much ground with the dirty air. And we're going to see now he's going to have the slipstream onto the main straight, but also Giacomo is going to have the slipstream on Young by only 1/10, as the gap is 1.4 out of the out of turn 5. And now Tigicol is being attacked by Sassy Imposter, so that's a good comeback by Sassy Imposter. I think he done a pretty early stop. He was with some... No, I think he passed Tigicol after he hit the wall, if I'm not wrong. So he's now gonna try to pass him on the track back. Also, still quite a solid race by Tigicol. That was such a pity to crash into the pit lane, because I think he lost around 3 seconds there. But we're gonna see how we can do later. And now Aviation Raft is trying to catch back to Leots and maybe improve his position. And he goes wide of the turn 9, so he's gonna do some ground. And now Nico Bico is all over Giacomo for P2.
And Nico hasn't been talked about this race, and he's looking to make the move for P2. B8 takes the inside lines, but Nico takes the racing line. And he's ahead before entering the chicane. Let's see, now Nico has been struggling here a bit in the race and just hands on. Now heading onto the hairpin now, heading onto the long straightaway. See if B8 can make the move with the slipstream. Yeah, I'm sure Nico is out of the slipstream range of EV9.
Yeah. He is 3 seconds behind him, so well off the slipstream, but we're gonna see if with the pace he can cut back also. Looks like Giacomo is in a very good position, because with the time pit he's gonna be just behind Shadow, and also he's gaining, even though he has all the tires. So it looks like he's doing a solid recovery after a bad qualifying, also bad start. He was stuck in P12 because before the pits. Of course, it's not very easy to pass here, as it goes very wide there. So he's gonna lose a ton of ground. Yeah, he loses 3 seconds, so this is gonna cost him towards the end of the race. Yeah, I was saying before, and he dives into the pits. So he's gonna do actually 11 laps on the medium, so that's a very long stint, but he can do it. Very bad stop there. Let's look at him. He goes to mediums. So we're gonna find out where he will live now. I think he is there with Edsted after his mistake, so we're gonna follow Edsted here. He's now onto the main straight, onto the gate, passing the line. This is gonna be close, and Giacomo just manages to stay ahead, and this is good for him as he can use these medium tires to the best now. As the battle for P4 is now very close, as we have 4 cars, everyone with the slipstream of each other. So we have Tigicol behind Sassy Imposter with 1.1 second, also Leo with 1.1 second, and Aviation Raft is the closest with 0.4 of a second. Now one has Leos has taken a better line onto turn 7, so let's see if Aviation Raft can pull a move onto turn 9. Very tricky to do so. Let's look at the pair of them. Very nice line by Aviation Raft, but still not enough. They're gonna be side by side onto turn 10, onto turn 11. Looks like he's just ahead, and he does pull the move, so that's a very clean move by Aviation Raft. He's gonna be up to P6 and now trying to catch Sassy Imposter for P5. And Sassy Imposter actually is trying to pass Tigicol meanwhile, and he's gonna pull the move of the final corner, so it's gonna be up to P4.
Leo and Raft at the back battle. I guess not really battling, but Leo's trying to chase down Raft here for the position. He's got takes the line perfectly, but also in the back to the Shadow, I believe, just crawling, I guess we're gonna say, but peeking behind them, waiting for them to maybe make a mistake and get ahead of both of them. But meanwhile, Leo heading out after the hairpin, and now, Tig must have made a mistake.
Yeah, he did a mistake onto turn 5 on the inside. He corner cut it, so he's now gonna be attacked by Aviation Raft, who has slipstream and a better run onto turn 7 here. Very close between the 2 drivers, both keeping on the track to keep it clean. Onto turn 8. Aviation Raft is slightly wide, but he's not gonna trigger the corner cut on turn 9. Both very clean, very nice driving by both of them, as Leos is gonna lose the slipstream on Aviation Raft, so looks like Leos is struggling a lot right now with the pace, as Sassy Imposter has done a mistake ahead, so this is now a 3-way battle for P5. Sorry, P4.
Yeah, Leo made a bit of a mistake and went wide. I believe he had to slow down a bit, but yet the 3 people battling for
threesome,
yeah, battling for 4th place. All different teams, and as well, we might have a 4th member again. Leo might be able to catch back up here, and potentially even a fifth if Shadow can catch up. This could become a 5-car battle, but it's only about not. I think. Oh,
Wukone cut by Assassin Imposter. Yeah, on the inside, this is massive for him. As now, Leos is gonna have the system on him as Aviation After is gone past Digital. So Aviation After is up to P4, but only momentarily as Digital with the slipstream is gonna try to catch back up onto P4. But now they are side by side coming to the 7. Aviation is a slightly inside the line. Digital with a more outside turn as we have the first blue flag, which is San Francisco is gonna be lapped by Young now, and also gonna be lapped by Nico Pico shortly. And Aviation Raft slightly wide of turn 9 is not gonna. Massive mistake by Sassy Buster behind, and also by Leon. So now Shadow is into the battle for that P6 spot. And Francisco also still has this blue flag.
Very, very crazy at the back from having a 3-car battle. Now they're all separated pretty much again, and now they even got closer. Except who are not close to each that are close to each other is Raft and Jig. They're battling, going into the first corner. Who is going to come out on top? It is going to be barely Raft. But we're going to go into the chicane now, or I like to call it scary corner. And it is going to be Raft that takes the top at the moment.
We move by them now, capping Assassin Potter and Leots behind. Also Shadow, who is now well into the battle for that P6 spot. Looks like Giacomo is struggling with the mediums. He is now under attack of Edsted 4P9. So we're gonna find out if he is gonna be able to keep that P9. As now they're still gapping the cars behind, and now the gap between Sassy Imposter and Tishikol has become 4.5 seconds as Leos goes past Sassy Imposter.
Bruh.
So now Shadow has done a mistake of turn 9, he's gonna lose some ground, but still there with Sassy Imposter and Leos, and Sassy goes past Leos as I talk about them, and I'm gonna go on to the RP now. Leos with the wider line is gonna be compromising it, sets it totally mistake as Sassy Imposter goes very wide. This is a very good chance by Shadow. He has a great run, also a great chance by Leos. He's gonna have the streets on to turn 1, late braking. Very tighty move is gonna be past Shadow 4P. Sorry, Shadow. Sassy Imposter 4P6, but Sassy Imposter looks like he has got a better exit of turn 1, and he's gonna be there onto the chicane. He's gonna be slightly wider, and he's gonna trigger the corner cut, and he's gonna be passed by Shadow into turn 5. And he's gonna be there onto but only for a moment, as Shadow doesn't take a good line onto turn 5.
Yeah, big battle here. There's lots of battles now. As again. Leo, and let's see, he's been making so many mistakes. Oh, gets a great run for Leo into the next corner. It was a beautiful corner from him, and just gets a wow, what a move from Sassy Imposter. Now, can he hang on though into this the fast corner? Yes, he can. Beautiful move from Sassy Imposter.
And now TG has gone past Aviation Raft with a very good move into turn 8. And he has also gone purple in the second sector. So now Aviation Raft has done a mistake, so now he's gonna have to do a lot of work to go past TG once again, as the gap is now 1.1 second. This is the battle for P4. And also these are crucial points for the team championship, as Shadow is now they are now leading thanks to the effort of Pro Bono, who has won both races in round 1 and round 2. Utichikol corner cuts off the chicane. It's gonna be under attack of Aviation Raft for a moment. Also, Sassy Imposter has done a massive mistake behind. It's now gonna be attacked by Leos and Shadow, as Aviation Raft also goes past Tichikol. We have lots of changes right now, lots of active battles.
Someone who is slowly, I guess I was gonna say, Tug was slowly catching Milo, but Milo has responded back and it's got back in Francisco. Blue flagged. Now Shadow trying to make a move on Leo here, and he's going to have to slipstream him, as well as a bit of dirty air. But Leo's still side by side with him. Can he hang on? Leo just gets, oh no, but he goes a bit wide. Can he still hang on? Oh, barely. But no, Shadow's
nice save.
At him. Yeah, it was really insane from him. Here we go. Close. Sassy Imposter trying to get out of there. He doesn't want to be in the mix with this battle. Shadow will have another run at him coming into the hairpin. Is he going to make the move? No. Just backs off the bit. Maybe. Oh, no, he's still there. Oh, it's brilliant racing from these two.
Yeah, Aviation Raft has got back to Tigico, so now he's going to have the first overtaking chance as he has done a mistake earlier. Tigico has a bad run of turn 5, and now we're going to go on to turn 6 onto the main straight. Good run by Aviation Raft. He's going to be all on the line now as they are. Ooh, very nice move by Aviation Raft. He's going to be past Tigico. He has gone very tight onto turn 7. Very. Oh, he's going to be wide also. Turn 8. Yeah, he has to do it all over again. As Tigico goes very wide ahead, so I think Tigico is going to lose some ground now. No, he doesn't. So I think he has barely not triggered the corner cut. But Aviation Raft is still in the 16 range, so he's going to try to pull another move on him later.
We're going to go further back. We're making sure I get everyone here in this race. Battle for at least P11 now. We're going to go back to the top real quick, but thought it said there's a bit of a battle for P11. And Mac kind of just there. He's in P13, and then Mr. Fran in 14th, and then Francisco in 15th. But moving back to the top for a battle for P6 again between Leo, Shadow, and Sussy Imposter. In the back there, I believe it B8. Yautoko and B8 and coming around. He's still peeking around in the back there, and he does hit the wall a bit. But back to the battle for P6. Leo, Shadow, Sussy going down to the back straight. Shadow goes wide. I don't know what. I kind of see maybe he's trying to avoid the slipstream.
Yeah, he is doing that.
Yeah, and here we go. Oh, Sussy hangs on. He must have got a bit of a slowdown. Shadow.
Oh, mistake by Tigico, sorry to interrupt. It is massive for P4. He has gone the worst corner cut possible after turn 9. He's gonna lose the slipstream on Aviation after who goes past, and now the gap is 2 seconds.
Raft made a mistake as well. He gets the slowdown.
Yes. And now the battle is still on. 7/10 of a second is the gap. Also, Nico Bico is losing a ton of ground. He has lost 5 seconds on the last lap. So now Milo has got back from 10 seconds to 5.
Yeah, and so many battles. Back to the battle for 6th place again, Shadow. And let's see, Buster, it has been around. Leo goes a bit wide. Shadow gets the better run. And he just comes ahead. Coming into the scary quarter, chicane, I like to call it. And Shadow hangs on. But we're going to go right back to that straightaway where all the overtakes have been made so far. Shadow going to try to avoid the slipstream. He does. And it's just kind of a standoff right now. They're going to go side by side. Shadow, then Rico's right back into the racing line.
As the battle for P4 is now basically over, as Tigico has done a 3-second mistake, is now the gap is 4.1 seconds between him and Aviation Raft, as Shadow is actually catching to him. So now the gap between Shadow and Tigico is 2.1 seconds, so we might see a battle for P5 now.
Tigico makes another mistake. But we're on the final lap as well, as EV9 is pretty much I guess no one, but we'll go back to the battles very quickly. He's been pretty awesome all race, had a few battles, but it's just kept the pace on. But right back to the battle for
Shadow has got Tigico into turn 1, another mistake by Tigico. This is massive for P4. As this has been a very good race by Tigico so far, but it looks like he's crumbling under the pressure of these old hard tires. As Giacomo Dusek is gonna not be able to challenge for P8, as he was on mediums, but he has done too much mistakes on this stint. But now let's see if Shadow, he has 2 sectors to pull a move on Tigico. The gap is 9/10 of a second. As the Assassin Imposter goes past Leo, but they're gonna lose the slipstream, so they're not gonna be able to challenge for more than P6 unless the cars ahead, of course, pull a mistake. But now Shadow is closing on Tigico. Tigico does a mistake, and Shadow is gonna be passed into turn 8, but Shadow corner cuts, and he's gonna be passed by Assassin Imposter maybe into turn 9. This is also very close, and Shadow with the worst momentum, and Assassin Imposter goes wide. This is a very close battle for P6. Shadow was there with Tigico for P5, but as Young wins the round 3 of this race, as Nico Pico goes P2, and then Milo is gonna close the podium. And good race debut by Avian Shaft, but let's look at the battle for P seats now. Looks like Shadow has got it, but Sassy Buster with a great run after that score, and will he be able to pull a move on the line? Wow, so close.
Great battle from start to finish from those 4 at least, from Raft, Tig, Shadow, Sussy. Leo as well was in that mix. It was a great battle to watch. Like a 5-part battle. XL will get 10th,
I like
it's 9th.
It's nighttime.
Roar will get 12th, and I believe finishing off the points.
Now remember, Cartoon
Taco
Network
gets
Adventure.
13th. Francisco will get 15th, Mr. Fran 14th, and again, Mac 13th.
Wow. Yeah, there was a very, I would say, close race. Yeah, Sassy Buster lost P seats by 66 thousandths of a second. That's how close it was. But yeah. I would like to point out the very good race by Aviation Rafty. This is his debut. He was reserving for Shadow, and he is actually gonna score more points than Giacomo, who is the current driver for Shadow. So yeah, very nice race by him. This is now the end of the race, and also the end of this weekend round 3. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And we're gonna see you next week for Ludwig. Goodbye.
Goodbye.